now I will just shortly introduce our network, who we are, why we're here, and where we're going, basically. And what we are, basically, is a network of about 160 plus people that are volunteers at the university. Could be anyone from an undergrad student to head of department, and we also have a lot of external members that support us and that we work together with. And this has been growing initially from just a very small postgraduate working group who started this process, and over the last year this has been growing to those numbers, basically. We are currently coordinated by 14 people, which includes the student society. As I said, I'm a co-chair, and we have several people here, secretaries, communications managers, we have the student societies, and then we have subgroup managers. And the most important thing is that we are having monthly open meetings for everyone to come and everyone to join. That's where we're actually doing our work, where we are working on projects, where we are planning events, etc. And they are every Thursday, in the last Thursday of the month, and in between there we have socials. So every Thursday at 5 o'clock you can usually do something with us, either socials or a working meeting. So basically what drives us, obviously the name is giving you a clue there, but we are united basically in the concept that the university basically doesn't do enough and is not devoting sufficient effort in reducing carbon emissions. And that is, although we have and really a lot of people that are doing fantastic research in sustainability, in architecture. We have the Grantham Center for Sustainable Futures, we have Energy 2050, we have the Urban Institutes, and they all talk about sustainability and they do research on it. And that is carbon capture, that are other aspects of sustainability. However, that is somehow not really translating on what we're doing with our campus. And that's basically the initial concern. And basically the university target of decarbonization is, we want to decarbonize 43% of our carbon emissions by 2020. And the longer term goal is 2050, and they want to reach 80% there. And these targets are a bit arbitrary. The 2020 target is relatively ambitious. And unfortunately about that target, that's the only target we have actually, that we really do work against, and all the other universities too. But unfortunately, our university, as well as all the Russell Group universities in this country, are not achieving the targets that they have set themselves. So there's a real concern that we as an institution with all this knowledge and all the money we have is not actually achieving the target. So who will? I mean, the UK has targets, and the university can't achieve it, so who could do it really? And I guess Kevin might say something about that too, I don't know. I know he's outspoken about that, what the universities should do as well. Okay, so just to point out, it's not just our university, but we are really working here, and we should do something about us here first. So this was the main reason that we felt we have to found this network to actually aim for carbon neutrality. So what we really are doing in general, and what we're saying, is we are connecting the university community. We want actually to have academics come together with estates managers. We want teachers coming together with the academics, again, because they have the knowledge, and then the practical implementation should be guided by that. Usually that is not happening because their academics, or our academic departments, are separate almost, and they feel separate as what estates is doing. And I think there should be some bridge built basically with people from our network is basically one of our major tasks. Then we don't only want to campaign, we wanted to actually specifically develop solutions, because a lot of people asked us, well, what can we do? Should we do something? And are there any practical things? And we have a lot of engineers, undergrad students and so forth. They all have the skills to help things along, and that's what we also do in our open meetings. And finally, what we do in the third point, although it's labeled 1 here as well, it's basically to actually remind the university that they have targets, and particularly remind managers of the universities, the VC, the carbon management group, etc., that actually they have targets that they have set themselves, and that these targets are not achieved, and then we need a further target that goes down to carbon neutrality, and hopefully that will come out of Kevin's talk quite clearly. Because we think we have to become a carbon neutral university in a time frame relevant to climate change, not in a time frame relevant to the UK government. although the UK government hopefully learns from what the universities are doing. Okay, so the final thing really is to come to Kevin here, because obviously he's really an authority on this area, and he's really someone that can digest the information of climate modelers, and tell us a little bit on how urgent it is and how quickly we have to cut our carbon emissions, because this is an argument we will have with our university leaders, because they will follow UK government targets if they have to, and they might be behind it, and if they have to pay penalties for it, they might actually try a bit harder. But anyway, Kevin, I think, will give you some background on that. And Kevin is basically a professor of energy and climate change at the School of Mechanical, Aerospace and Civil Engineering, and he's also the Deputy Director of the Tyndall Centre for Climate Change Research in the University of Manchester.